But welcome, Ronald. We appreciate you taking time to be with us today. I'll kick it off with Ronald Ellis will be in our main event Saturday night Showtime Championship Boxing. He'll meet two-time undefeated David Benavidez in the main event. And first and foremost, I'll throw it to you, Ronald, for any opening comments. How was training camp?
Training camp was great. Always working my ass off, so it was great. Just worked hard. What more can I say? Try to, get everything I could get out of it.
Yeah, last night on Showbox, where Brandon Lee scored a sensational knockout, we debuted the video feature Inside Camp, where Showtime went into camp, spent some time with you, spent some time with David. We got a look inside the mindset of Ronald Ellis as he prepared. You mentioned this is the biggest fight of your life. And I'm curious, does that change your preparation? How did that change things for you?
It just makes me work a little bit more harder. You know what I'm saying? Because I got something to prove. So it just made me push it to the limit a little bit more.
Right. Does that mean more sparring? Does that mean more road work?
More everything. More everything. Yep.
All right. And then this is the second fight at Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut, where we've Showtime has formed a residency of sorts. Did you learn anything the first time around that you've been able to sort of keep in your back pocket here?
I just know what I'm getting myself into, First time it sucked in the bubble, but now, I know what I'm expecting. So it got way easier. I came prepared, did what I had to do. No complaints.
Right. And last one for me, and I'll toss it to the media again. If anyone has a question, please raise your hand. I'll get to you in the order that you've raised them, and everyone will get questions from Ronald. So a lot is made of David's power. It's sort of the narrative that builds around his fights. But if you go down your box rec, you have 8 first-round knockouts in your career, nearly identical to David, just one shy of his mark. Do you feel that power is going to be a difference on Saturday night? Do you feel you come in with the same amount of firepower as David does?
It's a difficult question. I really don't know. Nobody knows until we get in there. I got power. A lot of people overlook it because, a couple of injuries and all that, but I'm back 100%. So it's just time to, I'll show my power Saturday night.
Great. So we'll now go to media. If anyone has a question, again, raise your hand. First, we'll go to Jake Donovan of Boxing Scene.
Thanks, Greg. Ronald, thank you for doing this. I wanted to ask, I know the last fight, even though you got the win, it's probably not the way you wanted to. Nobody wants to win a fight on injury. But that said, going into that fight, were you expecting an opportunity like this to come next?
Truthfully, yeah, kind of. I expected somebody, Korobov had a good name on him. So I figured get him out the way. And no matter how it got done, he got out the way. I was looking forward for something big. And, this was probably the biggest that came at first, and I grabbed it. Didn't hesitate at all.
Gotcha. And then obviously, fighting a 2-time world champion, you're not going to look ahead past Saturday night. But that said, like going into this fight, is the intention for you with a win to stay on the title stage in 2021?
Of course. What else would I be doing it for? Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And then I know you said this is the last time you didn't quite know what to expect going into the bubble. David Benavidez, he's kind of owned up to everything he went through with the weight. You had your issues with the weight. What were you able to do differently to ensure that it wouldn't be an issue this time around?
Just come here on weight and do what I had to do before I get here, because usually you get to the hotel, you can shake a couple pounds off, right. But unfortunately you can't go nowhere. So I knew what happened. I knew what I was getting myself into.
Gotcha. And then with my last question, knowing that you kind of have to be on that weight by the time you come in, how does that change, especially like the end of your training camp?
Not too much. I'm fighting at 68 this fight. Last fight was 60, so that's why I really didn't make weight. So 68 wasn't too bad. So I just grind.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks so much, Ronald. Best of luck this weekend.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Got it.
Thank you. We'll jump next to Keenan Atchison.
Hey, Ronald, how you doing today, man?
I'm all right. Yourself?
I'm good, brother.
Right.
How exactly do you think you'll be able to offset Benavidez pressure? Because he's a pressure fighter and a power puncher. How do you plan to offset that?
Oh man, I don't feel like giving out all the game plans, but hey, I hope he pressures me. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 hands too, and I'm gonna stay there and I'm gonna fight. I'm just gonna mix it all up. Just do everything that I've been doing my whole career. Just all in one night. Just put everything together.
And were you able to find somebody to spar in camp that kind of like emulates that same style?
Not really, but it's boxing, we fighting. It's a fight.
All right. And are you prepared to this is an eliminator, so you prepared and ready to go ahead and go for the belt after this?
Yes, sir. That's what we're here for. And I need this. I need this.
All right, man. Best of luck to you Saturday, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. Take care.
You too.
Okay, great. Next question from Jeremy Harris of Fansided.
Hi, Ron. Thank you for taking the time to talk. I know last time that we talked, you were talking about, some of the bad luck that you've had in the past with your right hand and injuries and things of that nature. I'm assuming that everything's been good in this camp. You haven't had any setbacks or anything of the such.
Yeah, these last couple of fights, I've been having both hands, so I'm a 2-hand fighter again, and I'm just putting them together. No complaints about the hand. Shit been holding up great. It's time to show out.
I know going into the Korobov fight, kind of a slick boxer. He was kind of showing that a little bit. Now this guy's a guy that likes to come straight at his opponents. Do you see this one kind of turning into a slugfest? And is that what you're anticipating?
Yeah, because he brings pressure. And, I don't really like to run and all that stuff. Korobov, like you said, he was slick. He's going to bring pressure. So, of course, there's going to be fireworks. Of course. The fight's going to break out.
Final question for me. I know that with past fights for you and him, people are talking about a lot of weight and things of that nature. He's a big guy. You're a solid guy yourself. What do you like to be in the ring at come fight night? What do you typically rehydrate at, and how big do you see yourself being on fight night?
Fight night, that was the whole point of me going down to 75. I mean, going down to 60 because I only rehydrate to 73, 75. So, we're just going to make it happen. I ain't going to bulk up too much. I'm going to stick to the script.
I hear you. Best of luck to you, Ronald.
My man.
Thank you. Now we'll go to Andreas Gomez.
Andre.
Good afternoon, champ. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? I'm all right.
So, champ, as we know, this is your first time headlining an event. It's a big card, Showtime. Just how do you feel going into this main event?
I feel great, man. I feel excited. I get to see my face on the posters and shit. It feels great, man.
Right. Now, as we know, you've never been stopped before, and we know Benavidez brings a lot of pressure. Just what's your mindset like going into there with such a knockout artist, knowing that you could go the full distance with guys like that?
I'm just gonna work. I'm gonna be smart in there. I ain't gonna just go in there winging punches. I'm really smart. My boxing IQ's there. We're just gonna work. We're gonna try to do anything necessary to win.
All right, champ. Thank you for your time. Wish you the best.
My guy.
All right, next question comes from Jim Conlon.
Hi, Ronald. Just in relation to the preparation for the fight, David has been talking a lot about Canelo Alvarez, and he sort of plans for him in the future. Do you think maybe that's a bit disrespectful to you that he's not talking about you a lot more?
Oh yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm being overlooked and all that stuff. But it is what it is, can't control what he thinks or what's going on in his head. But I'm here to cut all that short.
And I suppose in terms of that, for you, Ronald, a victory really propels you to the national stage and the international stage, and it really brings the possibility of fights with the likes of Caleb Plant, Billy Saunders, all these sort of names. So it really opens up great opportunities for you going forward and catapults you right there to really the top of the division.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for, because once after this, they call him the boogeyman. I take care of him. I'll be the boogeyman, and I get to, like you said, get all the big fights, and it's go time.
And I suppose, lastly, for me, Ronald, in terms of this big sort of fight in your career, how much would you love to have maybe 20, 30,000 fans having your entrance music and getting that buzz off the crowd, and for such an important fight in your career to not have them there is such a shame for you?
You know, we all do it for the crowd and all that, but it's televised, it's worldwide. We got a job to do. We could fight if it was outside, if it was nobody watching. So no difference.
Best of luck, Ronald.
My guy, take it easy.
Thank you. Next question will come from Jay Sewell.
Hey, how you doing, Ronald?
I'm all right. Can't complain.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. You can
All
hear
right,
me?
first,
All right.
okay. Yes. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations and good luck on your fight. So how motivated are you to go in there and win this fight? David Benavidez is considered an up-and-coming superstar. So how motivated are you to go in there and get the W and basically offset a lot of plans for David Benavidez? Because a win over David Benavidez leads to a lot of big things, bigger fights, bigger money.
Oh yeah, see, you said it yourself. I think you just answered it. I'm extremely motivated. You know, that gives you an extra push. You know, I'm not just going in there just to, you know, make him look good. I'm going in there to look good and do my job. I have to get the victory.
All right, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Gail Kilmartin.
Hi, Ronald.
Hey, what's up, Gail?
What does Benavidez bring to the ring that is going to test you?
He's bringing himself. You know, he was a world champion. You know, unfortunately, he still is in my eyes. So you got to be a champion. You got to be the champion. So he's bringing himself, and that's all I need.
Okay. Can I ask, if you get the win, how do you plan to celebrate?
How do I plan to celebrate? You know, I don't know. I didn't even get that far yet. I'm not looking past the night. We're just gonna work our asses off, and celebration will come later when I get the bigger fights in this.
Okay. And can I ask you, can you describe yourself in 3 words?
In 3 words, marvelous, marvelous, marvelous.
Okay. Thanks so much for your time, and I wish you the best of luck.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. And we'll go to our last question here from Gustavo Neri. Being mindful of your time, Ronald, we appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep. Hi, good afternoon. I hope everybody's good. My question to you, champ, is that many critics and media and whatnot classify David Benavidez as number 1 or number 2 in the weight class. Defeating him, do you claim yourself top 1 or 2 at that weight class, champ?
Yeah, of course. Of course, you beat him. You know, I take his spot, if not above, you know, because everybody, you know, he say, she say, everybody's running. You know, I get past him. I'm the big dog.
I'll end it with this one. Does it, like, I know in an aspect of a fighter, it must annoy you when your fighter is focused on other opponents rather than yourself. You know, you talked about, you know, Canelo, the Caleb Plants, the Charles and whatnot. But from a personal level, do you feel like that fuels you even more to get this victory comes Saturday night?
Oh yeah, of course. You know, he ain't say my name once. You know, he's talking about all these other fighters. I just want to cut that shit short.
Thank you, champ. And
Yeah,
wish you the
yes,
best.
sir.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Ronald. We appreciate it. Again, Ronald Ellis,
My God.
Showtime Championship Boxing, 9 o'clock Saturday night on Showtime, facing 2-time undefeated David Benavidez in what should be a great fight of the weekend. We appreciate your time, Ronald, and rest up. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Take it easy.
And for everyone on the line, just hang on. We'll have Terrell Gaucher coming up next. Thank you.
Yo. Oh, nah. He wouldn't do that.
All right. Thank you. Welcome, Terrell. We appreciate you taking time to talk to everyone today, speaking to the media. Terrell Gachet will open up the broadcast. We heard from Jamonte Clark earlier in an all-Ohio battle, a 10-round super welterweight fight on Saturday night. We're excited to open up the card with this one. So I guess first and foremost, I'll give you the floor. Terrell, how was training camp?
Training camp been good. I'm ready. I put all the work in. I'm here. I'm ready. Weight's good. Everything's great.
That's what we like to hear. I mentioned to Jamonte Clark that of all the great fights this weekend, Showtime and elsewhere, your fight has the closest odds. Jamonte, it's dead even. It's a pick'em fight. Does that give you any sort of motivation? Does that mean anything to you, Terrell?
I really don't pay attention to the odds because I've always been an underdog my whole life. But with this fight, with the odds, I'm not really concerned about that. But it's a good fight. I'm looking forward to going out there and put on a dominant performance, though.
Great. Just so everyone knows, I did have to lower everyone's hand and just to reset the queue after the last session. So if you could please raise your hand if you have any questions, and we'll get to everyone's question. So you're back. You're in the bubble here, in the fight sphere the second time. How was your first experience? Obviously, not the ideal outcome for you against Erickson Lubin, but how was the experience, and what did you learn about fighting without fans?
It was different. But as a professionals, we got to make adjustments. I'm just happy that we still got a chance to do what we love to do. With the Erickson Lubin fight, I was off for quite some time, and the bubble, it was a little different. But now knowing that I went 12 rounds, and I got a little bit more shook the rust off, I'm looking to put on a great show this time.
Excellent. So we'll go to the media again. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. The first question will go to Jeremy Harrigis of Fansided.
Hi, Terrell. Thank you for taking the time. I'm curious, in your last fight with Erickson Lubin, what were the primary things you took away from that fight? What did you take away that could help you in this fight?
Hey, how you doing? With the Erickson Lubin fight, I feel like I learned a lot. I was able to capitalize on some of the things during training camp that I was doing wrong in that fight. Would obviously being able to let my hands go more with a southpaw and be effective. And I'm looking forward to landing my good shots. I landed some good shots in there, but just gotta get it done earlier.
Did you feel that you kind of had a hard time figuring out your pacing because of time away, the ring rust? Because once you hit those later rounds, you really kind of pushed the action and hurt him a few times. Is that one of the primary things you noticed?
Yeah, I kind of felt it when I was in there. We as fighters, we always like to say the ring rust won't bother us, but obviously it did. And to his credit, he did a pretty good job. But I feel like I'm more sharp and more ready now. Been working on some different things.
Looking at Jamonte and some of the fights that he's had in the past, whether it was losing a decision or going to a draw, what are some of the things that gives him a problem that you think you can take advantage of?
I know that he's a tall fighter, but sometimes he like to fight, and instead of boxing. So sometimes he give me an opportunity to catch him with some good shots. He like to let his hands go, and that's what I like.
Sounds good. Good luck to you, Terrell.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. Next question will go to Michael Ruda.
Thank you. How you doing today, Terrell?
I'm doing good, yes, sir.
I'm doing good as well. Now, this is going to be your second fight here in the bubble. You know, as you said, the first one, you had such a long time off, and then it was the bubble experience, which is, you know, a lot different to the fighters. Having that experience now, does that make this second go around that much more easier for you?
Yeah, it definitely do. I kind of take from each experience and just grow from it. Like I said, me and my coach said we either win or learn. So I'm taking what I took from that experience and bringing it here. And I'm definitely the more experienced fighter coming into this fight as well.
Definitely. Now, as well, with it being the Ohio Showdown, how much more extra motivation does that give you for this fight?
You know, it's motivation because, you know, we got a lot of pride being from Ohio. So everybody want to be the top dog. And I'm going to show them Saturday night that I'm the one.
All right. Thank you, man. Good luck this weekend.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I did ask Jamonte, so I'll ask you to weigh in. Is there a rivalry between Cleveland and Cincinnati on the boxing scene?
Yeah, definitely. It is. It definitely is, from the amateurs to the pros, you know. So that's going to make for a exciting fight.
Awesome. All right. Next question, we'll go to Jake Donovan, boxing scene.
Thank you very much, Greg. Terrell, good to have you back on Showtime. So you mentioned that you realized in the past, like some fights you just started a little bit too slow. You caught on later in the fight. Like in training, like how do you like prepare for fixing that in the ring?
Just doing what you doing sparring. You got to work on the same thing that you're gonna work on in the fight. So I mean, just being more busy in the ring and working on different things, creating different shots. You know, and just using my head thinking.
Gotcha. And then it's easy to look at your resume and say, okay, well, you know, when you step up, you fall short. But like, you know, looking at your fights, like you're never really out of the fight. So with that, do you kind of view this not so much as a comeback, but as like the reminder that you're still a threat at 154?
Yeah, for sure. Once I get past this fight, because we don't look past nobody. Once I get past this fight, I'm open to fight the big fights and, you know, for a world championship again. So that's what I'm looking forward to do. Get past Jamonte Clark Saturday, and I'm looking to fight the bigger names in the division.
Gotcha. And then I got one more question. A lot of people looking at this fight and they're wondering, like, okay, for all the fights 154 to get made, how did this one get made? And like people have the theory you're the only guy who's really saying yes when these fights are proposed. So what is it about these types of fights that just, you know, that motivates you?
I like challenges. You know, I never said no to a fight. It's not hard to make a fight with me. I just like the fight. So going in there and hearing them say that Cachet got a problem with southpaws, you know, he don't let his hands go. So that's motivation for me to go out there and dominate and show the fans and everybody that I don't have a problem. I can adjust to anything.
Okay, very cool. Best of luck this weekend, Terrell. Good to see you back in the ring.
Thank you.
You got it.
Great. We'll go to our last question here from Jim Conlon.
Hi, Terrell. I suppose fighting Germonte, he has a big reach. So how important will it be to get inside his guard and let go with your combinations?
It's definitely important. You know, you don't want to sit on the outside of the shot. So that's something that we was working on in training camp. We know he's a tall, rangy fighter. So we've been working on that. We have a tall spine. And I'm going to be ready come Saturday to put on the show.
And I suppose, Terrell, you mentioned that he's a tall, rangy fighter. So I suppose you'll be trying to set a fast pace and move him across the ring, move him from rope to rope, and really test his durability and stamina.
Yeah, I've been watching him for a while. We've seen that, you know, he's a pretty slick boxer. He try to move, but also we're going to test his chin. You know, he's been touched quite a few times, get him hurt. Looking forward to getting him out of there.
And I suppose, lastly, for me, Terrell, in terms of that last fight against Erickson Lubin, was it very much important to go away and I suppose clear the mind and clear the mindset and really start to refocus and come back with a point to prove?
I'm sorry. Can you one more time? I'm sorry.
No problem. Terrell, in terms of the last fight against Erickson Lubin, was it important for you to go away for a time, just clear your own head, clear your own mindset, and come back with a new purpose and re-energize yourself?
Oh, that's what you said. Oh no, it wasn't. I didn't go away. Like after that fight, I just got right back in the gym, and just picked up where I left off, so I can. Like that Monday, I was back in the gym right after I fought. So I'm definitely ready now.
Best of luck, Terrell.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the questions. Terrell, thank you for the time. Again, opening fight on Saturday night on Showtime, 10-round super welterweight fight against Jamonte Clark, all Ohio battle. Jamonte says there's no rivalry, but Terrell says there is. So, I look forward to seeing it unravel in the ring. Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Yep. See you at the weigh-in. Then everyone, again, I'll lower hands. If you have a question, we have Isaac Cruz coming up next. He should be up there shortly, and I'll get to everyone's questions as always. Thank you.
All right.
All right, we're back. Welcome, Isaac.
Bienvenido, Isaac.
Oh, muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
In the co-main event, we spoke to the number 6 ranked Matias Romero earlier, and now we talked to the number 4 ranked in the WBA, Isaac Cruz. This will be a co-main event. 2 guys under 25 years old, both sort of rising stars in the division, in the hottest division in boxing. 12-round WBA lightweight title eliminator. This is a big moment for Isaac. So just want to open up quickly with your thoughts. How is training camp? How have your preparations, and how do you feel today?
¿Cómo ha sido tu preparación? ¿Cómo ha sido tu campamento? ¿Cómo te sientes en este momento?
Ha sido un campamento bueno, bastante duro.
It's been a hard training, good training camp, very hard.
Ha sido en altura,
In the
sparring
altitude.
durante 2 meses,
Sparring for 2 months.
con sparring muy buenos que me han ayudado muy bien.
For good sparring partners that have been helping me very well.
Y venimos muy contentos y motivados para llevarnos la victoria a casa.
And we are very happy and very concentrated to take this win home.
Thank you, Isaac. And that is Javier Jimenez, our talented translator, who is helping us today for our media session. So thank you, Javier. And,
You're welcome. Thank you.
Of course. And, as noted, Isaac is ranked 4th by the WBA. He is ranked 2nd by the IBF. He is ranked 13th by the WBO. Isaac is in elite company with Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez to be ranked that highly across multiple sanctioning bodies. And Saturday night on Showtime in the co-main event, this is now a WBA title eliminator, which brings him now to the doorstep of a coveted world title shot at lightweight. How does this moment feel, Isaac?
¿Cómo te sientes en este momento para esta pelea?
Me siento muy motivado.
I feel very motivated.
Tengo una inspiración muy grande que es mi hijo y mi esposa.
I have a great inspiration that is my wife and my son.
Y no voy a desaprovechar el apoyo que me ha dado el señor Eddie Reynoso con Nuevo Boxing Alive.
And I will take advantage of all my help that I've been going through Mr. Eddie Reynoso from No Boxing No Life for all the sponsor support.
A Javier Jiménez, que es la persona que está dentro del equipo.
Javier Jiménez, myself, which is inside the Canelo team.
A Sean Gibbons, que es mi promotor, y a Manny Pacquiao Promotion.
Sean Gibbons, that is my promoter, my manager, and Manny Pacquiao, which is my company promoter.
Y a todo el equipo en general.
And all the team in general.
In October, the co-main event of the Gervonta Davis Leo Santa Cruz pay-per-view is one of the first fights back in front of fans and live on Showtime pay-per-view. You made a statement against Diego Magdaleno, stopping him in the first round, KO of the year contender. What has that felt like after that KO of the year? Do you feel you're the division is on notice, is scared of you?
En la pelea que tuviste anteriormente en el co-main de Santa Cruz con Gervonta Davis, hiciste un trabajo espectacular a noquear a Magdaleno. ¿Qué has sentido tú a través de esa victoria contundente que está en la división de lo mejor de los 35? ¿Y qué esperas tú después de esta victoria para estar adelante con tu carrera?
Me sentí muy motivado.
I feel very motivated.
No me importa lo que tenga que sacrificar para obtener una pelea de título mundial.
I don't care what you have to sacrifice. You have to obtain the World Championship battle, whoever's in front of me.
Y ganar esta siguiente pelea para ser el retador mandatorio.
And win this fight to be the mandatory fighter for the championship.
Do you feel pressure after a sensational performance like that? Do you feel pressure to perform and get the same sort of some sensational knockout this Saturday?
¿Sientes poquita presión a sentir después del contundente knockout? ¿Sientes presión después de esa pelea de Magdaleno hacia este próximo sábado?
No, de ninguna manera. Yo vengo preparado para lo que tenga que durar la pelea.
No, definitely not. I'm well prepared to finish the way it's going to finish and finish this fight.
Y lo vengo a hacer de la mejor manera.
And
Para eso me preparé.
And I'm going to do it in the very first way. That's why I'll prepare myself very well.
Great. So we'll open it up now to the media. Anyone who has a question, please raise your hand and I will get to you. The first question comes from Jake Donovan of Boxing Scene.
Great, thanks so much, Greg. Javier, if you could ask Isaac, I've noticed a trend, like over his past 10 fights, either he's knocked everyone out very early or the fights have gone the distance. In the fights where he's been able to end it early, what is it about those fights where he's been able to see that opening, where he can just take that shot and knowing that he's going to end it with one punch?
En las peleas que te anteriormente has sido la distancia, has ganado por knockout contundentemente. ¿Qué hay de ti de eso que has visto ese hueco para aprovechar un knockout o te vas a la distancia? ¿Qué es lo que tú prefieres hacer?
Pues nosotros trabajamos para toda la pelea y si es de la mejor manera un knockout, lo aprovechamos.
I will work for everything, for the distance or whoever is going to come out. If the knockouts, if I see that opening for the knockout, I will take advantage of that.
Got you. So, and then in those fights where he's gone the distance, does that give him the confidence in those fights where he does see those openings, that even if the knockout doesn't come, he's still going to outlast his opponent?
Es lo que te ha abrido a tener la confianza en ti cuando te has ido a la distancia, de cuando viene el knockout o la distancia, ¿te sientes tú confiado?
No, nunca caemos en confianza, siempre venimos bien preparados para toda la pelea.
I never take any for disadvantage of my fighters. I always prepare myself for the knockout or for the distance. I always prepare myself for the best.
Gotcha. And then my last question, I know he said he's been sparring for the past 2 months. If I'm not mistaken, he was supposed to fight John Fernandez, who's a bit taller and a much heavier puncher than Matias Romero. Has there been any changes in training camp, like from the start?
Okay, originalmente tenías a John Fernández, que era un peleador mucho más alto, el español, que hubo cambio de esparreo y te preparaste de 2 semanas. ¿En algún momento te afectó a ti esta preparación al cambio de oponente y el cambio de sparrings?
No, de ninguna manera.
No, definitely not.
Okay, very cool. Isaac, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you Saturday night.
Gracias por la entrevista.
No, al contrario, muchas gracias a ustedes.
Thank you very much for everybody.
Thank you, Jake. We'll go to the next question from Andreas Gomez.
Good afternoon. My first question is, now his last fight and previous fights, we saw he comes forward with a lot of pressure, yet it's very technical, which at times reminds us of Mike Tyson. Is that something that he studied, and how did he come up with that style of fighting?
Como te hemos visto que has venido muy frontal, tienes muy técnico y vienes con el mismo estilo de Mike Tyson. ¿Qué esperamos de ti o ese siempre va a ser el mismo de siempre, con ese estilo?
No, puede haber algún cambio también, no nada más es ir para enfrente.
No, not definitely have to be coming forward because I can use something else.
No sé cuándo vaya a ser una demostración de que también sé boxear.
I don't know when it's going to come the time that I have to show the people that know how to box too.
Right. Now, as an amateur in Mexico, he went 73-12 with 50 knockouts. How tough was the Mexican amateur system, and how did it help develop his game as a professional fighter today?
Con las peleas que tuviste, 73 victorias en amateur, ¿qué tanto ha cambiado el sistema de boxeo amateur mexicano al profesionalismo en Estados Unidos?
Pues sí ha sido bastante el cambio, el nivel.
It's a different level. You can feel the change.
Ha sido preparaciones más duras que en amateur en México.
I've been preparing myself much harder in Mexico for the amateur fights than somewhere else as a professional too.
Wow. And lastly, as we know, he likes Mike Tyson. Does he see himself one day fighting in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center?
¿Has visto alguna vez pelear a Mike Tyson? ¿Te gustaría verlo pelear en el Barclays Center?
Sí, claro, hubiera gustado verlo pelear en vivo.
I would like to see him fight. I definitely would love to see him fight in live.
All right, thank you guys for your time.
You're welcome. Gracias por su tiempo.
Thank you, Andres. All right, we'll go to Michael Rhoda now.
Oh, okay. I speak Spanish as well, so I'm gonna ask him the question in Spanish.
Good. I'm fine, thank you. En español.
Okay. Isaac, tienes una pelea muy grande este fin de semana. Como han dicho ya, la pelea tenían que cambiar el oponente. Cuando pasó eso, ¿te dio más motivación pues para acabarlo de chance más temprano o nomás estás enfocado siendo que es un eliminador por el título?
No, yo nunca me confío. Yo siempre me preparo para lo que tenga que durar la pelea. Si así es un round o son los 12 rounds, yo me preparo para toda la pelea.
¿Y qué sabes de tu oponente más o menos para esta pelea?
Que es un boxeador que le gusta hacer mucho juego de pies, que es alto, que tiene bastante alcance y nosotros trabajamos para salir avante a eso.
Ok, y última pregunta, siendo que es un gran fin de semana de boxeo, ¿estás enfocado nomás en ganar o a ver si puedes, que cuando se acaben las peleas están hablando de qué tú hiciste en este fin de semana?
Yo vine aquí porque puedo, no vine a ver si puedo, si puedo. O sea, yo estoy aquí para demostrar de que merezco una oportunidad titular del mundo.
Ok, muchas gracias y buena suerte este fin de semana.
Gracias.
Okay, great. Thank you. We'll go to Keenan Atchinson next.
Hey, Isaac. The last fight you had with Diego, we know of course you knocked him out with you landed some brutal uppercuts. But what's not talked about is how you set that up by delivering a left hook to the body. Did is that going to be a focal point going into this bout as well? Is going to the body to loosen everything up so that you can go up top and land the shots you need to land?
En la pelea anterior te fuiste directamente con hombres y cruzados, no tiraste el gancho al hígado como se esperaba. En esta pelea que viene, ¿vienes con el mismo plan de pelea o diferente o qué es lo que vas a hacer?
No, cada rival tiene diferente estrategia, no todos son igual.
Every fighter's got a different strategy, not everybody's the same.
Y nosotros vamos a hacer el plan de trabajo que traemos, no nada más ese, sino 2, 3 que traemos.
We don't have the same plan, we got 2 or 3 different game plans for this fight.
Okay. Watching Romero on tape, what are you expecting him to do when he gets into the ring?
Una vez que sube tu contrincante, ¿tú qué esperas de tu contrincante que haga arriba sobre el ring, sobre ti? ¿Qué es lo que te va a atacar? ¿Cómo?
Lo único que espero es que dé una excelente pelea.
The only thing I expect is he will give him a good, excellent fight.
All right. Best of luck to you, Isaac, man, and look forward to seeing you Saturday.
Y te vemos el sábado. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have one more question here from Jim Conlon.
Una pregunta más.
Hi, Isaac. In terms of the fight, I suppose your opponent, Matias Romero, do you expect him to really stay on the outside and try and move you around the ring rather than take you on in the center of the ring?
En esta pelea que viene con el contrincante, que vienes moverte para los lados o vas a venir frontal, ¿cómo vas a salir para esta pelea con este rival que tienes?
Vamos a salir concentrados y pensando en las cosas que vamos a hacer para ganarle de la mejor manera a Matias.
We're going to come out with very concentrate and do the best with the game plan that we have and do the best way I can get that W, the win.
And I suppose, Isaac, coming from Mexico, such a proud tradition of world-class boxers, how much do you want to be considered the next Eric Morales, the next Antonio Barrera, to be able for the Mexican people to look up to you as they looked up to those icons?
De entre todos los ídolos que mencionaste, ¿cómo te sientes tú en comparación de Eric Morales, Miguel Barrera, que han hecho un legado muy grande? ¿Tú cómo te podrías considerar a comparación de ellos?
Bueno, ellos hicieron su propia historia, yo vengo a hacer mi propia historia y ustedes lo van a ir viendo conforme se vayan dando las peleas.
Well, they did their own legacy, and you will find out about me doing my own legacy as long as my career keeps coming forward and do my best.
Best luck, Isaac.
Lo mejor para ti, Osa.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. Bless you.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Most especially, thank you, Isaac, and thank you, Javier, for translating.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And good luck. We'll see you tomorrow at the weigh-in.
Muchas gracias por todo, por la entrevista, y nos vemos mañana en el pesaje.
Claro que sí.
Un saludo.
Un placer.
A pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Isaac. And just for everyone on the call, we will have David up on the stage shortly for his session. I will again lower hands. Please raise your hand if you have a question for David. I will do my best to get to all of them. And we'll be right back with you.
just give me a test into the mic?
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Thank you.
All right, great. We're back. Thank you everyone for hanging in there. We are back. The main event of Saturday night's Showtime Championship Boxing. Two-time undefeated super middleweight champion David Benavidez will take on Ronald Ellis. Main event. I know he's excited. He's on weight, as if everyone saw on Instagram. Weighed in at 168 minutes before the fight. How are you feeling, David?
Feeling great. I've had a tremendous training camp. We're in Big Bear for 3 months, and I feel like this is the best training camp I've ever been in, I've ever had. And, this is uncharted territory for me too. I've never been in a fight where I come in, on weight 4 days before. So I'm expecting to feel, probably the best I've ever felt in my career. I didn't overlook Ronald Ellis. I know he's not really a big name like I wanted to get, but I give him the respect of being a professional boxer that I have to get ready for anybody in the sport. So I prepared for him like if he was a world champion. So I'm expecting to look exceptionally well on Saturday.
Yeah, and in doing many rounds of interviews together, David, you've spoke highly of your first experience up in not first experience, but first full training camp up in Big Bear on the mountain. What's different about it? What was different about the preparation? Was it more road work, more sparring, or what was so transformational for it about it?
This wasn't my first training camp in Big Bear. Every time I go to Big Bear, it's always one of the best training camps I've had, just because what goes into there. It's so secluded up there. There's only basically the grocery store, the gym, and where we run at. And I think there was just more at stake at this point, because the last time I didn't make weight. So I had something to prove to myself and to my fans. And also it was a big key to this training camp too, is I just had my son too. So having him around and, just being a father now, it just made me 10 times more motivated than I already was. So, it's just, I'm not only fighting for myself no more, I'm fighting for my family, for my team, for my people, everybody who follows me and everybody who supports me.
Well, that's a great jumping off point there. Thank you, David. So we'll get to the questions. We have many of them. We'll first jump to Jay Sewell. You can, the floor is yours.
Hey, how you doing, David?
What's up, brother?
Man, great to see you back. David, I just want to ask you a quick question. I was taken back by some things that Canelo and both Charlo said. I just want to give you a chance to respond to those questions. You had Charlo saying that for him to fight, for you to fight him, you had to get vaccinated. And then Canelo said he didn't feel comfortable right now fighting other Mexican fighters. So I just wanted to ask your response to those comments made by both Charlo and Canelo.
I can't really say too much about what they have to say. What I have to do is just stay ready and be ready for anybody. If I'm willing to fight anybody and they're not, they're putting restrictions on people that they don't want to fight, man, if I'm not the best super middleweight, I'm the #1 contender in super middleweight right now. So the people, they're going to start demanding for these fights and to start calling for these fights. So if I'm ready to fight these dudes and I'm 24 years old and these dudes are 29, 30 years old, what does that say about them? If I say that, they don't want to fight me, and people say that, oh yeah, David Benavidez is just saying everybody's scared of him, which is that's not true. I'm ready to fight whoever, whenever. I could beat Canelo tomorrow and I could beat Charlo tomorrow too. I'm ready for whoever. If they're not ready, man, that's something that's going on their side. But as speaking on my end, everything's good on my end and I'm ready to fight them whenever.
Okay. Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Jay. All right, we'll go to Gail Kilmartin next.
Hi, David.
Hello.
First of all, congrats on the birth of your baby boy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Your opponent, Ronald Ellis, what assets do you feel that he could have that could be a challenge for you?
The only challenge I probably see in Ronald Ellis is that he moves a lot. He's more of a boxer. But honestly, I'm prepared for anything. I prepared for boxers. I prepared for brawlers.
I've been sparring 15-round sparring sessions with 3 different types of styles in sparring. So any style that presents itself, I'm gonna be comfortable with. I don't really see too much in him. I don't see that he's fast. I don't see that he's strong. And he's coming up. I think he's coming up from 160. So, I mean, he's never been in there with somebody, at the level of fighter I am, 23-0 with 20 knockouts, 2-time world champion. So I feel like I'm going to be too much for him. But, hopefully I'm not. Hopefully he gives a great fight, because I want a great fight. I don't want an easy fight. I'm tired of having easy fights. I want great fights. And I want, to give the fans what they want to see. And that's what they want to see, a great fight. And hopefully that's what it is.
Okay. And I know you'll be focused on your fight with Ellis just now. But just following up on what one of the other guys asked, is there a possibility of a showdown with you and Charlo if he can come up to 168 possibly this year?
Yeah. So that's the fight that I want to get made happen in September. Charlo has a lot to say about me. I have a lot to say about him. But at the end of the day, we're both men. We're both probably one of the best, fighters in PBC and Showtime. So why not make it happen? I think it makes sense for both on my end and on Charlo's end. He doesn't really have anybody else to fight at 160. So I feel like that's a fight that should be fairly easy to make. So hopefully we could get it made in September.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for your time, and I wish you the best of luck at the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Gail. And we'll jump to Jeremy Hergis of Fansided.
Hi, David. It's nice talking to you again. Kind of talking about that, I know talking about Ronald in this fight and some of the possibilities going forward, is there a sense of frustration that you're not getting some of those bigger names that you're mentioning?
Yeah, a little bit. But I feel like everything is working out on my end because I got time on my side. I just turned 24 years old. So, I think the time is running out for these other fighters. I'm the youngest, ex-champion in this game in super middleweight division. So, the time is on my side. I have at least 12 years left in this game in the professional. So, if they take a fight with me now, later, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to just be ready for whenever the opportunity comes. I feel like, they could avoid me for so long, but they can't avoid me forever because, like I said, these fights are in demand. I feel like a lot of people want to see me fight because the fighting style I bring. I'm a pressure fighter. I give great fights. I love giving knockouts. I love giving stoppages. So, my fight with anybody will ring bells, and that's a fight that's in demand. So, I feel like if they don't fight me, then that's just going to say a lot about them. But, I feel like I'm in a great position either way.
Getting on the scale, showing that you're already 168 days before the fight, was that a matter of, okay, I've done the bubble experience, I know what's not there, I'm going to lose a few extra pounds just in case?
Yeah, exactly. And it worked out good, man. I'm glad I made this decision. But also, too, what I had going for me is I was very disciplined on the diet. It's not that I was starving myself the whole time. I was just eating very good, fish, egg whites, salad, a lot of water. So, everything, I didn't drain myself at all. Everything, I probably overate in a lot of cases. But I just wanted to get here and lower weight. And that's exactly what we did. And now it's paying off. I've never been this relaxed for a fight. I haven't even trained this whole time since I've been here. So, and I'm still underweight. So, it feels really good to relax and just worry about the fight and not the weight.
It seems like obviously your nutrition is you've stepped it up to a different game for this fight, and you found something that's working for you. Do you think that might extend your longevity within this division?
Yes, definitely. And I think the key and the sweet spot that I found for myself is in Big Bear, California. So I'm going to definitely be going there every training camp I have. I think where the place it just takes me mentally and physically is just amazing. You know what I mean? So, I feel like I deserve to give my fans 110% of me every time I go in the fight and in training camp too. So that's the decision I made with me, myself, my team, my dad, and that's exactly what we're planning on doing. And yeah, I think it's definitely going to help me be in this weight division for way longer.
Thank you, David, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. We'll go to Hans Themistode next.
Hey, David, how you doing, man?
Doing good, brother, and yourself?
Can't complain, brother. Can't complain. So yeah, I remember I seen on an earlier interview that you were saying that this is the title eliminator and it still is, and Darrell was also on the title eliminator. Did you kind of get any clarity, because it's kind of confusing, because the winners were supposed to meet up, but he didn't. Well, it was a draw, so do you kind of know what kind of happens now?
So I mean, that's the question I had to ask my promoters and everybody too, because I really don't know. I already thought I was on a and if everything goes well on Saturday, I thought I was already going to meet up against Darrell for a rematch, which I had no problem of. People thought it was a good fight, so I'm more than willing to give them the rematch. But since both of them they got a draw on that fight, I really don't know what's going to happen. But I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm ready for whoever. If they want me to fight one of them, Davis or Darrell, it doesn't matter. I'm just, like I said, I lost the title on my from the scale, and I can't complain. Whoever they want me to fight, whoever they put in front of me, that's who I'm going to beat. It doesn't matter. I have no problem fighting anybody.
Gotcha. Now obviously we always know you want to go for the knockout. You never really want to see the judges. You were training in Big Bear. I believe you said that this was your first time training there since fighting Porky, and we've
Yes.
seen how that fight ended up going. Would a part of you be, I guess, a little disappointed if you didn't knock Ellis out? But if you won like every round, would you still be kind of disappointed?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I'll probably be disappointed, but if I win just like that, a win is a win in boxing, and I've given a lot of knockouts, but it's up to myself, and I feel like I'm the superior fighter. I'm stronger, I'm faster, I'm younger, so I feel like there shouldn't be a problem. I was hurting all my sparring partners in training camp, so I mean, I don't see why I shouldn't get a knockout, but I'm not gonna go in there and try to overwhelm myself. I'm gonna start like I always start with the jab, find the distance, cut the distance, go to the body, and it's worked for all the other fighters. So why wouldn't it work with Ronald Ellis? You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm just ready to get in there, perform. I mean, I'm not even drained at all trying to make the weight. I'm happy. I mean, I'm enjoying every second of being in the bubble. Unlike last time, I was struggling to make the weight. So I mean, I'm in good spirits. I just can't wait to get in there on Saturday.
Gotcha. And just my last thing for you, man. Obviously there's Canelo, there's Caleb Plant, but Charlo. I know you and Charlo have been talking a lot lately. I guess, would you say that he's the guy that you really want more than even Caleb Plant? You and Caleb Plant been beefing for years, man. But I guess Charlo's that guy you really want now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that because Caleb Plant, now he's saying that, oh, I'm a waste of time. He doesn't want to fight with me, doesn't interest him. Obviously, because he's waiting for Canelo. But Charlo, I feel like me and Charlo are in the same type of position. We both need a signature win to get to Canelo. So it makes sense on both ends. And Charlo, I mean, this is the type of position I want to be in too. I mean, I've been watching Charlo since I was 14 years old, 13 years old. So this is where I want to be in my life, in my career, fighting the guys I seen when I was younger. So, and I feel like that's more of an appealing fight for fans than me versus Caleb Plant. Charlo has a high knockout ratio. I have a high knockout ratio too. So, when you get fights like that, these are the type of fights that people say styles make fights, and this is going to be a war. So, I mean, I have no problem fighting him. I'll fight anybody in this division, especially when it's, it seems like a great fight. It's a guaranteed war, guaranteed knockout. So why not? Let's do it.
Real quick, tougher fight, Charlo, Plant, or Canelo? Just real quick. Thank you.
Well, the toughest fight, it has to be Canelo, definitely, because he's the pinnacle of the sport. He's the best pound for pound of the sport.
Okay,
so you definitely have to say it.
Charlo or Plant?
What did you say?
I was saying, okay, so Charlo or Plant, which one is tougher between those two?
Oh, which one is tougher? Maybe Charlo. I don't really think too much of Plant. I mean, you guys do, but I don't. I don't think Plant is anything.
Gotcha. Thank you, man. I really appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll go to Cameron Buford next.
Hey, what's good, David?
What's up, bro?
Hey, not a whole lot, man. I want to ask you first, giving back to the city of Phoenix. Kind of what's your why behind that, and kind of what got that situation started off?
Well, it's just because I feel like athletics is really important in Phoenix, Arizona. Sometimes, just for me, knowing that I dropped out of school too, I'm not recommending anybody to do it, but sometimes that's a route some other, teenagers or kids go towards because they feel like athletics is the only way out. And so if I could help them in, sponsoring something for their athletics, I feel like I'm in the position now to give back to my community and my people from Phoenix, Arizona. So that's definitely the route we wanted to go to. And I feel like, just knowing Phoenix, Arizona, knowing how tough the streets are and how you could get involved in things in the streets, so giving them something else to do, an alternative besides school and besides the streets is athletics. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to continuing to doing that in the future. And hopefully we could, when the years comes, we could sponsor with more money and bring more things to athletics of the Boys and Girls Club in Phoenix, Arizona.
That sounds good, man. Kudos to you for reaching back.
Thank you.
How do you think losing the belt a couple of times now changed the way that the boxing world views you? That's boxing fans, your fellow boxers, and then promoters.
Yeah, it's 2 times, not a couple of times, but yeah. I mean, I don't really care what everybody thinks about me. To be honest with you, all I care about is how I work. In the rankings. If I'm still looking good, I'm stopping people. That's the only thing I feel like people care about now is if I look good in my performances, and I've never looked bad in my performances. And things happen. Things happen. It's just how you come back from your mistakes and how you rebound. And I feel like I've put all the work in for this camp, and I rebound amazingly. Now it's just time to perform on Saturday and show the fans what I'm really made of.
That's fair. Appreciate the honesty there. And then lastly, how does the business of boxing impact you and the fights that fans actually want to see?
What do you mean how the business of boxing impacts me?
So does that change your mindset? Does that impact? Do you get frustrated? Because I heard you mention in a previous interview that the way Caleb Plant is moving is because
you're asking
he's just looking at it for the business.
Okay. So you're asking if these other people they're not willing to fight me. How does that affect me? Well, I mean, if they're waiting for the other fights, man, it don't really make it. Like I said, time is on my side. If they don't take a fight with me now, okay, after Canelo beats Caleb Plant, after he beats Billy Joe Sanders, or whatever happens there, who else is there left for them to fight? I mean, I feel like the people are going to demand these fights anyways. If there's only 2 other fighters besides me, and he wants to fight both of them this year. Canelo said he's going to, he's not going to retire until 4 years. So who does he have left for him to fight? I feel like I'm one of the names that, would be a crowd pleasing fight, with me and Canelo. I feel like the crowd want that type of fight. So, I mean, like I said, time is on my side. I just turned 24 years old. I have at least 10 more years in this game. So if they fight me now, later, it doesn't really matter. But for me, I mean, I just want to stay busy. Whatever fight they want to give me, I'm going to be ready for whoever.
All right, man. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Cam. We'll go to Andreas Gomez.
Good afternoon, champ. How you doing?
Doing good, brother. And yourself?
I'm great, man. So, champ, I'm really curious, man. Well, first of all, congratulations on becoming a proud father. Now, how has fatherhood affected your life as a champion, as a fighter, regarding your routine, your focus, and your hunger?
It's made me more hungry and more motivated. I look at life different now that I have that I have a son to look after. And, just because, at the end of the day, when he gets older, he's going to be able to look up my every move and everything I did in boxing and in life. So I just have to be a good role model for him. But it's made me 10 times more hungrier, man. I'm just excited and ready for the future. And, when I get up there, when my little man turns 5, 6 years old, I want to be his Superman. And I want him to see that I was the best boxer of my generation. And, I just want to make him proud.
Right, because you mentioned this was the longest camp, and I'm sure it's away from your family. So how does that affect you?
I mean, this is boxing, man. This is the sacrifice you have to make. Julio Cesar Chavez, Roy Jones Jr., they all left, for camps. I mean, but this is how it has to go sometimes. This is the best I've ever felt, but that's a little sacrifice I had to pay. Like the Muhammad Ali said, sacrifice a little bit and live forever as a champion. I mean, in that, I really live by those words. And I mean, if it benefits me, it benefits my son, it benefits my family, my girlfriend, my father, my mother. we all win at the end of the day. So, I mean, 3 months to live, 3 months I give out of my life so I make sure my family lives comfortable. You know, I'm willing to do that for sure.
Right. I respect that, champ. Much respect, and thank you for your time. Wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate all the questions. I'm sorry we can't get to them all, but just being mindful of David's time in camp or in Mohegan Sun. Weigh-in is 24 hours away. We appreciate all the time, David. Showtime Championship Boxing, 9 p.m. Saturday night. This is the 12-round WBC super middleweight title eliminator against Ronald Ellis. We appreciate all your time, David. Thank you. Good luck, and we'll see you
Thank
tomorrow.
you, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We will.